What's up, Exo Swag TV fam? I know it's been a while, but I wanted to make a video about my new favorite piece of technology, and that is, are the Ray-Ban Metas. So I've had the Ray-Ban Metas for about 4 months now. I meant to do a 30-day review, but if I'm being honest, y'all, life has been lifing. I haven't had much time to create the content that I've been wanting to, but I'm working on slowly releasing things that are meaningful to me. And these, baby, these Ray-Ban Metas, of course we know this is the charging case. Okay, so when it's green, that means you're good to go. Mine may be dead. Let me see. Yeah, they may be low. The charging case may be low, but either way, you open up the case and you have these beauties, okay? It also comes with, like, you know, a cleaning towel, which I really appreciate, because when I'm wearing these all day, you know, sweat and things like that tend to like make them greasy. So this is very essential. So that was a good piece of detail on behalf of Ray-Ban's part. So, I mean, I'm sure you've seen a dozen videos with how they look. I got the Skylers. So this is how they look. Okay, this is how they look on. And I got the extra dark lens, okay? Because I don't want you to see what I'm looking at when I'm looking at it. So when you first put them on, they tell you the battery life. Mine is at 96% right now. This is how you could tell they're recording, this light. Okay, so it's not as inconspicuous as you would think, but by now, most people know about Ray-Ban Metas. So when I go out and I create content, they don't really like flinch or make faces and stuff like that. I do try to not really focus on customers or employees' faces when I go into establishments. I mainly try to get whatever it is I'm shopping at. So when I went to Cava, since it was a grand opening here in South Florida, I tried to focus on like the layout of like where you could pick your proteins and things like that. I use them a lot when I go to theme parks or when I'm having a new experience outside, because the quality of these when you record is like, sometimes I enjoy it better than if I was to pull out my phone or my actual Sony. So they're really compact and lightweight. One thing I don't like about them is when you wear them too long, it kind of weighs down on your ear. So sometimes if I'm not like recording anything of significance, I'll take them off just to kind of give my ears a break, which I think that's any type of glasses. But I think the weight of the earpiece, because again, the speakers are in here, that may contribute to it. But that again is something very small and insignificant. I still take these everywhere I go. Another con I would say is, like, you know, if you're wearing them, even if you're not recording, it does draw away from your battery. So sometimes I have them on as just glasses and I'm not recording. And then I've noticed that when I go to record, they're like, oh, battery on 20%. And I'm like, bro, I only recorded like a couple videos, you know, I haven't even recorded that much. So sometimes that could be a little inconvenient, especially if you're, you know, like I said, at a theme park and I recorded a certain part of the experience, but then I just have them on as glasses. And then when I go to record something else, they're nearly dead. So those are the two major cons that I've experienced. I love how modern they are, how modern they look. I've always been a Ray-Ban girly anyway. I have a few pair like separate from the Ray-Ban Metas. So when the Metas released, it was kind of like, yeah, I need that for sure. Like that was like the perfect piece of technology for me. If you're thinking about buying them, I would say go ahead. The Skylers, I got them because they're a little more feminine than the Wayfarers. They ran me about $333. So that wasn't really bad. I've created a few pieces of content with them. I like to vlog with them because, again, they're already on my eyes. I just press the side and record. Another thing I love is I'm an avid book reader. And because I'm always on the go, reading physical books, like sitting down reading physical books isn't as convenient for me as it used to be. So I love that if I'm out in public and I want to catch up on a few chapters of a book and I have my Ray-Bans on, I could just play the book and I'll hear it. Same with if I'm listening to music. Sometimes I'm in the car with other people and I may not like their music taste or what they're listening to. So I'll just go ahead and play music from my Ray-Bans and, you know, just kind of let the time fly. So they're so versatile. It's not just about recording content. You could take pictures, of course. You can listen to music. You could take calls if you set up that on your Ray-Bans, which I do sometimes. I haven't used the like reading text message feature yet because I'm in public a lot and I don't know if I want them to read it in case somebody's next to me and they can hear it. But that is an option that you can do. Of course, like I said, you can listen to audiobooks, podcasts, whatever your heart desires, whatever your interests are. But they are a very unique and useful piece of technology. So I would say I love them. I would give them a 9.5 out of 10. The only two cons I mentioned would be, you know, the battery life and the weight on your ears. Other than that, they are the technology to get for 2025 and beyond. So if you were contemplating, if you didn't know, get them. If you don't have $333, put it on Klarna, Afterpay, ZipPay, Affirm, whatever it is. But if you're trying to take your content to the next level and you don't want to walk around with the Osmo Pocket 3 or your Sony camera or your Nikon or your Canon, whatever it is you use, or sometimes even your phone, grab them. You'll love them. Even if you don't use them all the time, you'll thank yourself for having them in the time of need. So if you have some, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with some of the things I said? What are some pros that I didn't mention? What are some cons that I didn't mention? And what models do you guys have? Because I'm thinking about getting another pair. Maybe not as in shades, maybe like just for prescription. Or I think I want like a brown tint. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, guys.